Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request from Rapid Kirby 3K. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And anyone wants to request any type of videos, PayPal is usually the best bet. I also have Patreon. I also have CashApp because people have asked me about that. All those links are in the info box. It could be for topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, video game let's try, playthrough, wherever the case may be. If not, no worries. Thank you so much. And if so, thank you so much. I'll get to it as soon as I can. So, The Shadow from 1994 is the film for today. And this is one of those films that I've seen a couple times throughout the years. And I don't hate the film. There's definitely some positive elements about it. But something about it I never loved. Well, I know my friend Mike, OCP, he considers the film underrated. He considers the film a gem. For me, I wouldn't go that far. First off, I don't know much about the source material. From what I understand, this is one of the inspirations for... When people talk about Batman, they said, oh yeah, The Shadow was the inspiration for it. I could kind of see that. And this is a time period that they were still trying to ride off the success of Batman. So, like, for the next 5 years, they tried to take any pulp comics or anything of back in the day and try to make it to a movie, a franchise, to not much success. Because, yeah, Dick Tracy, which they wanted that film to be much bigger than it was. And again, that's a film I could watch, although there's some stuff I don't like about it. Madonna, for example, I'm not big on it. But I do love the art design, the set design, the cinematography, the color scheme, the makeup effects of the henchmen. There's definitely some stuff to like about Dick Tracy, but it's not like a favorite of mine. The Rocketeer, I thought was one of the better ones in that era. It really captured that fun, gun-ho spirit of adventure. The Phantom, I actually remember not minding. I would say The Rocketeer and The Phantom I liked better than Dick Tracy or this film. But none of them equaled Batman or Batman Returns. But yeah, a lot of these films were not doing the best at the box office, and it really wasn't until, I would say, Blade in 1998 where you really finding some genuine success. I mean, I guess say Batman Forever in 95 was a huge success, but I mean, other than Batman, another property would probably, yeah, probably Blade. That would have been very successful based on a comic book. Blade is awesome. Blade is better than these movies. But getting back to this, it's directed by Russell Mulcahy, who, well, I would say this is the last big film he directed, but that's not true. He directed one of the Resident Evil movies, the third one, Extinction. That was the one where the whole world is a desert wasteland. Then in the next movie, not really. There's no more desert wasteland for some reason. They never explain it, but that's a whole other thing. But other than those two, he after this pretty much went direct-to-video route. Silent Trader with Dolph Lundgren, which I think is pretty good. And of course, he did Highlander 2. Before that, he did Razorback. And Russell Mulcahy, I do like. He's a very stylish director. He can have some very interesting sequences in terms of camera movement. Like, in this movie, there's a bit where, since it's taking place back in the day after World War One, there's this tube where there's a message, and you see this message in this tube go through the city. That probably this pipes all around, and we're following the camera going up and down all around the city and going around here, going around there. Very energetic camera sequence, and the way they utilize the effects with that, for 1994. Very ambitious stuff. And again, I do like that he has a certain style to him. Razorback, which I think is a very underrated film, that has a lot of beautiful shots in that movie. Even, of course, Highlander. And yes, Highlander 2 I do like. It's actually my favorite Highlander film. I know Sam Raimi desperately wanted to do The Shadow. He wasn't allowed, and that's kind of what led him to doing Darkman. I'd probably say I like Darkman more than this. Just again, I don't hate the film, but there's certain issues I have with it. But the plot of the film is Alec Baldwin, before he started shooting people for real, he only shot them in the movies. This life, this was hard to buy. For some reason, he left his life, or was after the war, became an opium warlord in Tibet, and I kind of wondered, how the hell did he get to this point? Like, how the hell did he get to be this evil guy that was a warlord in Tibet and selling opium, and he got the long hair, and he's this gringo, is this white guy, but he's Tibetan. You think people wouldn't take him seriously because he's not part of our culture, he's not our race, but they do. And James Hahn, Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China, he's there and complaining about something, and he gets killed, and Alec Baldwin's character is a very, very bad guy. Until one day he gets kidnapped, he gets put into this temple, and said, by the way, I'm going to use you. You don't fight for good. Because you know what lurks in the hearts of evil men, and I'm going to train you. And I'm sitting there going, again, that just seems out of the blue. Okay, you got the guy because apparently he's like the worst guy on the planet, and now all of a sudden he's going to fight for good because he saw a couple parlor tricks, including a dagger with teeth that tried to bite him in the nose, or whatever the hell. I struggled, even when I first saw this, going, how is it that he changes his mind from being a bad guy to a good guy? Just like that. This warlord that's willing to kill people, willing to do all these evil things, has done all these evil things. And because, again, of a 1 minute struggle with a knife, now all of a sudden he's a good guy, but he's a conflicted good guy. It was like, why? Why did he make that choice? Why did he make that change? Why all of a sudden is he doing this? Why didn't he's like, okay, fine, I'll use my powers and I'll kick your ass? You can't have that important change, metamorphosis, transformation happen with a damn text. It's like all this important information is a text going, oh yeah, he trained, and then he was able to have this power where he could cloud men's minds. He does the Jedi mind tricks, hypnotism, and then all of a sudden he's back in the city. He's got all these agents. He'll save someone. You work for me now, bitch. And that he's hunting bad guys. I'm like, well, again, that was hard for my brain to struggle with. Why is he a good guy? Why did he change his ways? Why, like, that's like an important chunk of a movie completely skimped over. Where I'm a bad guy. Oh my god, there's a knife going to bite me. You got powers? Now I'm a good guy. It's like, it's a bit like a whiplash effect for me. And that's from the get-go. And I mean, it's like 1084. Some of the effects are fine for what they are. Some of them, I mean, the dagger with the knife does look pretty goofy. That looks like something that would work like an Evil Dead type of movie with like comedic. And then they like the dagger with the teeth and just made me laugh. I will admit, it did make me laugh at a movie that. I mean, I guess there is a sense of humor, but I don't think that was meant to be funny. Oh, look at the cute little knife. Just the fact the knife was drawing at him. It made me laugh. And you don't see the training he goes under. I think you don't see the mindset where he's still a bad guy, still a bad guy. Maybe he's thinking, I'll learn this power, then I'll use it against him. I'll use this power, but then I'll use it for my own greedy ways. I'll use this power to control people, to work the opium trade even more so. But then this happens, and he met this person. And then maybe this person, wow, their kindness really affected me. And then this happened. And like, you never see any of that. So that's why it seems like such a whiplash chunk of chime of time, chunk of chime, you're missing. I know I'm flabbergasted. My mouth can't even comprehend it, apparently. So he's in New York. The rest of the movie's in New York. They don't say a specific year, other than it's after World War One. When he can cloud men's minds, for example, he can look at people, hypnotize them, so they can't see him except his shadow. So he'll like punch someone, he appears for brief, and then disappears. Punches someone, you see him briefly, then he disappears. Those effects, I think, look decent enough for 1994. And he's fighting these people on a bridge, that's going to throw someone over. Now, Alec Baldwin, I do think his voice works very well for the character. They work very well. He's a deep baritone, that voice that you just hear it and you just see why people would be like, what the hell? Like, he had the right voice for it. And there are times like he will say a line, and because he's saying it so straightforward, it comes off funny like it's supposed to. Like, listen, buddy, that's a good old US of A you're talking about. When the bad guys like talk to smack about America. So I think Alec Baldwin worked well as the lead in terms of acting wise, performance wise. Supporting cast, there's a lot of cool, recognizable people. The guy he saves on the bridge is Sab Shimono. He was in films like Gun Ho back in the day. He was one of the bad guys in Ninja Turtles 3. He was the daimyo back in feudal Japan that the Ninja Turtles had to go up against. So being a kid Ninja Turtle fan, that's who I remember him the most. He's done a lot of other stuff as well. Jonathan Winters, he's the police chief who, I guess is I forgot, he's related to Alec Baldwin, either his father-in-law, father, uncle, I can't remember. But anyway, or maybe they're friends. Sorry I'm so vague. I know the movie says that I'm just being stupid. But maybe because also Jonathan Winters, you think he's going to be a bigger character, but he's not. Like, he is brought up, he's in the scene, he tells about how he's going to have a task force for the Shadow, and the Shadow's like, you'll not have a task force. Nah, I'm not going to have a task force. You'll not, the Shadow doesn't, nah, he never existed. Nah. But then other than one scene, like, he's never brought up again. And I guess, I thought Jonathan Winters was going to play a bigger part in the film, so I was a bit disappointed that he didn't. Penelope Ann Miller from The Relic. She's here as the love interest, who's also a bit of a psychic. Her dad, who's a scientist, played by Ian McKellen. The weasel, sweaty, hammy guy who's like a assistant to Ian McKellen. He's played by Tim Curry. definitely playing a deranged role, and he's kind of fun in the movie. Two of the people that worked at his museum, I recognize. One of them is he was in Sister Act. I forget the character's name in Sister Act. He was the guy who was with the church, who was praising Whoopi Goldberg, like, wow, this is such a wonderful idea. And then the other guy with him in the museum is Matt Wright, the dad from the TV show Elf. So it's always nice to see him in a movie. I mean, oh, he's from Elf. John Lone, who's in Rush Hour 2, Year of the Dragon, he's here as the bad guy. And I actually like John Lone. I know some people don't like him. I liked him because there are times he seems having fun being evil. Either he's doing such vile things, he makes a guy shoot himself, you need some gasoline, and he makes a guy drive himself into this truck and blow himself up. There are times where he has a nice suit and tie, and he's talking with Alec Baldwin, and, hey, you want some of this? So I didn't mind John Lone in the movie. Sometimes it was a bit weird to try to understand what the Shadow's powers were. I mean, okay, he hypnotizes people, but a lot of times he seems really bad at his job. Where he's trying to hypnotize Penelope Ann Miller, he can't because she's psychic, and she ain't having that shit. John Lone, okay, he's the bad guy, and he's very much more powerful than the Shadow. There's a point where he tries to capture, trick, interrogate Tim Curry, and he stupidly is standing in water, so Tim Curry sees there's an impression in the water, shoots at him, wounds the Shadow in the shoulder, able to escape, locked him in his own trap, so the Shadow is so smart. He got locked in the damn vault in his own trap with the water rising up, so he has to psychically talk to Penelope Ann Miller. Save my ass, I was too stupid. And, spoiler, all of a sudden, at the end, where he's been overpowered, oversight out, he can't control the knife, all of a sudden he closes his eyes, and then he can just control the knife now. And he just have this, like he's rocking it, like he's having an orgasm, like he's the ultimate warrior, like he's doing the ultimate warrior, and then he can just all of a sudden outperform John Lone. Same with, there's a scene with a hall of mirrors, all of a sudden he's like, like someone needs to put the Ultimate Warrior theme song when Alec Baldwin's doing the shaking. I'm like, why all of a sudden is he now more powerful? If it was one of those things in the plot where what was holding him back is him being afraid of being like John Lone, turning into like John Lone, because he used to be a bad guy, and you think he's going that direction because he has a nightmare where he like tears his face off and John Lone's underneath. But then there's no struggle. Like maybe that's a mental block, but he realizes, no, I'm not the guy who I was. I'm the guy who I am. I'm not that guy. I'm not that warlord. I'm the Shadow. And then that's like this mental block is gone, and then he's able to overcome, and that's why he becomes more powerful. That's why there's no explanation as to why he becomes more powerful. It's just, we got 10 more minutes left. Can you do it now? Okay. And that's what I mean. There's no reason. There's no build up to that. And then the ending of the film is so weak, sadly, because apparently there was going to be this much bigger scene in this hall of mirrors, but there was an earthquake that destroyed the whole set. So, the way they have it here is Alec Baldwin just goes in, he sees John Lone, does the Ultimate Warrior shake, and throws the mirror shard right into his head, and it's over. And it's like, wow, okay. Just he won. So the ending just comes off as, yeah, okay, not as epic as it could have been. Compared to like the Rocketeer and the whole blimp and everything blowing up on it, or Batman fighting the Joker, punching him, that type of stuff. Now, the good, I mentioned Alec Baldwin. I guess some of the supporting cast, like Tim Curry, he's definitely crazed. He's definitely insane. Like I said, some of the directing choices that Russell Mulcahy did, like the two where you're following all along. There's certain effects where like the bad guy has these Mongols. Now, granted, I don't know where these Mongols came from, because he arrives in the museum, but did these Mongols, I guess they're back from home, and he sent them a message, hey, get to New York, because I'll be here soon? I guess. Maybe this version of Craigslist, he got them. The rest of the costume of the Shadow is a cool looking costume. When he's eventually able to use guns, like he's at one point caught, and he's caught on the wall, and like he goes from the wall, and we see the Shadow kind of come out of the wall and be physical. Gets his guns out, shooting this person. That was kind of a fun bit in the movie. But then at the same time, there's some stuff I thought was really goofy. Like John Lone using this billboard to hypnotize people. Like the way that was visualized just looked kind of goofy to me. I don't know what it was about it. Something about it just looked a bit silly to me. I don't know if it was the effect that they used, or just the fact that maybe it's trying to be on the nose, like billboard is supposed to affect our judgment whether to buy or not buy something. Just, okay, that's the joke. That advertisement usually does it, but no, this is affecting our mind in a different way. I thought the Shadow, they gave him a fake nose to really hone in on, no, when he's the Shadow, he's a different person. And there's even a shot where he's like the craggy face, and then morphs back to Alec Baldwin. I don't think you needed that. The fake nose. Some people say he looks like Stephen Baldwin with the fake nose. He looks like his brother. I just see that, and I just like, I don't know. You didn't need that. I think just the mask, the outfit is good enough. The nose just looked goofy to me. That's just me though. Like I said, the Shadow at times seems like he sucks at his job. But yeah, I appreciate the style. Like the look of the film, the way the city looks, definitely similar to Gotham and Batman '89. But it's not a bad thing because I do like the architecture, the set design. I don't mind the look of the film. Jerry Goldsmith does a nice job on the score. I'm a big Jerry Goldsmith fan. From the first three Rambo films, to Star Trek the Motion Picture, to Total Recall, Runaway, Leviathan, which I think are underrated scores he did. I love Jerry Goldsmith. May he rest in peace. I thought he did a really solid job that fit the feel and the realm that this takes place in of The Shadow. So Jerry Goldsmith, I thought, did a really good job. I keep mentioning the style. Like there's a bit where Alec and John Lone both shoot, and there's a shot where the bullets collide with each other. Like there's cool moments like that put throughout the film. I wouldn't say the film has the most memorable action sequences, though. Because I can't think of an action scene that really stood out to me. Like I said, the opening with the... Well, not... The first time we see the Shadow on the bridge, where he goes in and out punching people, that was kind of cool to see. But I say there's no action set piece that I could go, wow, that was really stood out to me as I do this review. I think that's one of the issues with the film is, like, what is the standout action scene in the movie now that I think about it? I mean, the finale is there's a hidden building that he's able to see, goes in. Most of the bad guys walk the other way, and you never see the Shadow fight those bad guys ever, which I thought was a bit weird. This is your big finale. You think, oh, the Shadow is going to kick ass, take names. Even like Batman, you got the plane, then he goes to the tower, he's fighting some bad guys, he's going up to get to the Joker. Not really the case here. It's just all the bad guys go over here. We like never see them again. Instead, he deals with Tim Curry, which is a fun scene. Because Tim Curry, he's sweating profusely, he's maniacally laughing, like he's the Joker. And he's like going around with his Tommy gun. Yeah. It's over there, but Tim Curry makes the same word. Then he gets with John Lone, where the guy handles the knife and trying the knife, don't stab me. And that's where all of a sudden the Shadow is superpowered. And why is he superpowered? Why all of a sudden does he just... There's no transition. We went from A to C. Where's the B? Like, where's the middle? Like, how did you get from here to here? It doesn't explain. It never explains. Again, that was kind of confusing. And instead, other than that, you have Ian McKellen not being hypnotized anymore. The plot was that John Lone hypnotizes him to make, with this material bronzium, to make an atomic bomb. So Ian McKellen and his daughter, Penelope Ann Miller, there's the bomb. They're trying to disarm it, and the bomb just rolling down the stairs and rolling to an elevator. And that looked kind of silly. I guess you say it was meant for comedy. I don't know, it reminded me like an Adam West Batman film, or a Batman show, Batman episode. Not quite. Never no place to to throw a bomb. But it felt like, oh, here we go. You go find this bomb. It's going down the hill. Compared to what's supposed to be this serious battle between the Shadow and John Lone, who's this vicious killer. I'm not sure if the tone was that consistent to then have this silly ball going down and they're trying to catch it. Oh, we get run over by it. And just how big the bomb is, like massive. And at the end, the finale, it's like, okay, he kills the bad guy in like 40 seconds. Because at the end, the scene they were going to do, they couldn't do because the set was destroyed. So again, there's stuff I like. Peter Boyle as the cab driver. Like I said, some nice supporting cast members. Some nice set design with like the costumes and the way certain scenes look to replicate that time period. The music. Like I said, I thought the action wasn't that memorable. I thought that, again, there's certain things that they kind of either out of their control, like the earthquakes of the finale suffered for it, or just story-wise, why is he a good guy at the beginning to New York? Like, why did he become a good guy? I don't think that was properly explained. That seemed like a very important bit to the character. I just, from what I understand, in the source material, that whole Tibet stuff was not in the source material. They made it up for the movie. Well, okay, well, better explain, like, why he becomes a good guy. I don't think they did that. like I said, how did he become so powerful at the end where that's not explained? So that's just me, though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Like I said, there's some stuff I liked about it. There's some stuff that bothered me about it. Overall, I think the film's just okay. But I wouldn't say I love the film. And that's just me. It's not a film I hate. It's not a film I love. It's a time waster. But it's not a film I really rewatch much. At least Alec Baldwin didn't kill anyone on this movie that we know of. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.